All right, let's talk about the ninth month of pregnancy. This is it, the final countdown. It's this really huge moment where your body switches gears. It goes from just being pregnant to actively getting ready for birth. And let's be real, this final stretch can be a wild mix of excitement, nerves, and just a whole lot of what happens now?
So, if you're in that home stretch and you're feeling all the things at once, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to walk through what's totally normal, how your baby is putting on the finishing touches for their big debut, and what you can actually expect as you get closer and closer. So, where do we start? With the star of the show, of course, your baby. First up, let's dive into the most exciting part, that tiny person you've been growing for almost a year. You might think the major work is done, but there is an incredible amount of development packed into these very last weeks. Get this. At this stage, your baby is gaining about half a pound every single week. That is a massive growth spurt right at the finish line. But what is all that weight for? Where's it even going? Well, here's the really cool part. This isn't just random weight. That fat they're putting on is basically their own personal thermostat. It's what's going to help them regulate their body temperature once they're out in the world. Plus, it's their first little energy pack for those first few days while you're both figuring out the whole feeding thing. It's also what gives them those absolutely adorable, chubby newborn cheeks. And it's not just fat. So much is still happening in there. Their lungs are getting a major upgrade with more of these tiny air sacs. Their brain, it's on fire, with connections multiplying at a crazy rate, getting them ready for all the learning they're about to do. Their nervous system is practicing coordination, which is key for breathing and eating. They're even practicing swallowing and blinking. And yes, they are totally listening to your voice. So keep talking, keep singing. They know it's you. I want to zero in on one word from that last slide, surfactant. This stuff is a huge deal. Think of it like a slippery, non-stick coating for the inside of the lungs. It keeps all those tiny little air sacs from sticking together when they exhale. So more surfactant literally means it's much, much easier for your newborn to take those first breaths. And all of this work leads up to one major milestone. At 39 weeks, your baby is medically considered full term. That's the goal line. It's why doctors and midwives really want to let that baby cook as long as possible so all these critical last-minute upgrades can happen. Unless, of course, there's a medical reason to deliver earlier. Okay, so baby is getting ready for sure. But what about you? Let's pivot and talk about what your body is going through in this final stretch, because it is a lot. Does this list look a little familiar? Yeah, I thought so. That feeling of heaviness, the pressure, having to pee what feels like every 12 minutes, the back pain, the hip pain, it's all part of the deal. These aren't just random discomforts. They are actual signs that your body is doing its job and getting ready for what's next. Now, the good news is you're not helpless here. There are some simple little tricks that can make a big difference. Try leaning forward when you pee. It can help empty your bladder more completely. A pillow between your knees when you sleep can be a game changer for your hips and back. And look, let go of the idea of a perfect 8 hours of sleep. The goal right now is rest. Naps are your absolute best friend. You know, a big culprit behind all that hip and back pain is a hormone called relaxin. The name kind of says it all, right? Its job is to relax and loosen up your ligaments, which is absolutely essential for your pelvis to open up during birth. So yeah, it's this super helpful hormone that also happens to cause a lot of aches and pains. It's your body doing exactly what it needs to do. Okay, what about this one? Have you had that sudden, unstoppable urge to clean out the pantry or organize every drawer in the house? That is the nesting instinct kicking in. It's this totally normal, primal burst of energy and focus. It's just your brain's natural way of getting your nest ready for the new arrival. So, while you're navigating all these changes at home, your medical check-ins are going to start happening a lot more frequently. Let's pull back the curtain on what actually goes on at these final frequent appointments. You can pretty much expect to see your doctor or midwife every week now. And each visit usually follows the same simple, reassuring routine. They'll check your blood pressure, listen to that wonderful, strong little heartbeat, and feel your belly to see what position the baby is in. It's all about making sure both of you are healthy and doing well. Now, one specific test you'll definitely have is the Group B strep screening, or GBS. This sounds kind of scary, but it's not. It's a really common bacteria that tons of adults carry around without ever knowing it, and it's usually totally harmless. The screening isn't for you, it's 100% to protect your baby from getting a potential infection during delivery.
And the test itself? It could not be easier or faster. It's just a quick swab and it is over in seconds. Seriously. From there, the result just tells your team what, if anything, needs to happen next. And the plan is incredibly straightforward. If your test comes back positive, all it means is you'll get some antibiotics through an IV while you're in labor. That's it. This one simple step drastically reduces the risk of passing the bacteria to your baby. And if you're negative, then no treatment is needed at all. See? Simple. And now for the number one question on every expectant parent's mind. With every little cramp, every tightening, you're probably asking yourself, is this it? Let's break down how to tell the difference between a false alarm and the real deal. This right here is the cheat sheet you need. Practice contractions, which are called Braxton Hicks, are unpredictable. They're irregular, and they usually stop if you lie down or change positions. Real labor contractions, on the other hand, start to form a pattern. They get stronger, they get closer together, and they keep coming no matter what you do.
Okay, so once those contractions do start getting regular and more intense, the next big question is, when do we actually go to the hospital? For this, there's a really helpful little guideline to remember. It's called the 5-1-1 rule.
So here's how it works. You grab your phone and start timing. Are the contractions coming every 5 minutes? Is each one lasting for about 1 minute? And has this whole pattern been going on consistently for at least 1 hour? 5-1-1. If you can check all 3 of those boxes, that's generally the sign that things are moving along and it's time to head in.
But listen, 5-1 is a great guideline, but it is not a hard and fast law. There are definitely times you call your provider right away, no matter what your contractions are doing. If your water breaks, if you see any heavy bleeding, or if you notice a big change in how much your baby is moving, you call immediately. And most importantly, trust your gut. If something just feels off, always make the call.
For 9 long months, your body and your baby have been working together preparing for this exact moment. You know the signs now, you know what to look for, and believe me, you are so much more ready for this than you think you are. The only real question left is, what's your next step to feel powerful and confident as you walk into this incredible new chapter?